Me and my friend BJ were the fat kids growing up. We were like peanut butter and jelly. We pretty much did everything together. I was raised uptown DC. My grandparents raised me. BJ lived right across the street from me. His grandparents were raising him. We were inseparable. We did everything together. We went to the playground together. We went to the same school. And the other kids in the neighborhood would think we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but it was nothing like that. We were just really, really good friends. He came to my birthday parties. I went to his birthday parties, and my grandmother, oh, my grandmother loved him so much. I remember my grandmother asking BJ, when is your birthday, BJ? And he would scream out, March the 31st. And from that point on, every time she saw BJ, she would just scream out, March the 31st. She started calling him, hey, March the 31st. And I just thought it was so funny. I remember being there for BJ when I think it was his grandfather. I remember it was one of his grandparents that passed away. I just was talking to him, and I couldn't imagine losing my grandmother at that time. Years went by and I moved away, and me and BJ lost touch. My grandmother passed in 1998, and I would have liked for BJ to be there, to send her off. The first person to ever make me feel secure about being a fat kid was not at my grandmother's funeral. We would crack jokes about being the fat kids in the neighborhood, but he never let me feel as though it was a bad thing to be a big girl, because he was a big boy. After my grandmother's funeral, I went back to the old neighborhood where I grew up, and I was in the neighborhood looking at the house I grew up in and the house BJ grew up in, and I was trying to see if he still was living in the house because his folks owned it. I seen someone from our old neighborhood that knew both of us. Asked them, about the house, and asked them if they, knew where BJ was, and they told me that BJ was killed when his car was ran over by a tractor trailer on the highway. My daughter was born on March 30th. Yesterday was her birthday. I think about her every March 30th. And I think about BJ every March 31st. This year, Easter falls on March the 31st. And I know that my grandmother is up there screaming at BJ right now, saying, March the 31st.